Hey, everybody, this is Jack Hammer. Hope you're all doing well. There are a few places as quiet as the locker room following a defeat, and that was the case in the wake of the 49ers' 19-10 season-opening loss to Chicago last Sunday. As members of the media entered the locker room for the first time following a regular season game since 2019, the frustration was palpable. The players who just fought through rain, wind, and mud for 3 hours, only to come up short, gathered themselves, some packing up their belongings for the long flight back to San Francisco, while others spoke to various members of the media. One player in particular stood alone next to his locker, gathering his thoughts as he prepared for his next task. If it wasn't bad enough that his team was not successful, in a few minutes, he would have to stand up to take the podium to be asked what went wrong. I made too many mistakes, he said. The defense kept us in the game. Had a big miss to Tyler Kroft in the end zone. Tried to throw a perfect ball. Should have just put it right on him when he was wide open. Turned the ball over. Took a sack that knocked us out of field goal range. Missed Debo on a third down. Missed another third down to Juwan. Just too many mistakes. A lot of stuff to figure out for sure for me. But man, I'm excited. I still have my head up and excited to get ready to go for next week. That was Trey Lance. Lance would come back and he'd repeat something very similar to that when he stood in front of the media again on Wednesday. You got to remember, Trey Lance is only 22. He just made his third NFL start. But he demonstrated one of the reasons why Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch chose to use 3 first-round picks on him to be their quarterback. Lance very easily could have dodged the question, made his response about the team, or that he needed to go back to the game film to know exactly what happened. Instead, he stood up at that podium, took the blame for everything that went wrong offensively on Sunday. That's what leaders do. Things haven't been smooth for Lance since joining the 49ers. During his rookie season, Lance sat while the team stayed with Jimmy Garoppolo as its quarterback. It took Garoppolo being injured and unable to play for Lance to get 2 starts. A loss against Arizona and a win on Week 17 against Houston. But once after that, he was back on the bench. As a result of the draft capital the 49ers used to acquire Lance, and Lance also being the only quarterback chosen in the first round of that draft class to not play the majority of his team's games, a spotlight was put on him. That spotlight grew hotter when the team decided to sign Garoppolo to a reduced salary to remain as Lance's backup. Then there's the play on the field. And for whatever reason, when you watch it, the offense with Lance at the helm just seems to be out of sync. There are a few big plays here and there, followed by a few big mistakes. And those aren't just from the quarterback. Against Arizona, for example, in his first start, Kyle Shanahan passed up multiple opportunities to put points on the board with field goals, only to come up short on 4th down. There was a number of penalties throughout that game. That trend continued during the first half of Lance's next start against Houston in Week 17 of last season. And then on Sunday in Chicago, a storm blew in only hours before kickoff, leaving the field a mess. And despite those poor conditions, the 49ers offense had opportunities to put points on the board. Unfortunately, Lance could not take advantage due to the miscues he mentioned above, as well as a fumble by Debo Samuel on the first offensive possession. This has led San Francisco to managing only a 1-2 record in Lance's first 3 starts, and an offense which has scored only 10 points in 2 of those contests. Through it all, Lance has held his head high and said all the right things. Today, patience is just in short supply, and we rush to judge athletes in every sport quickly. For Lance, for example, he is currently stuck between those who think that he's going to be great and those who think he's going to be a bust and he's not going to make it. That he is a quarterback on a team that many believe has the ability to reach the Super Bowl only adds to the strain of this whole situation. The truth is, right now, nobody knows how this is all going to play out and what's going to become of Trey Lance's career. He's going to prove one of those sides right, and he might prove both sides wrong and just be a guy that's in the middle. We're going to find out. The cool part about this whole thing is that the story is going to be written each week during his NFL career. And we're going to know as that career plays out. We're not going to know today. We're not going to know tomorrow. If somebody tells you tomorrow, or if you've heard somebody say recently that he's going to be great, question why they say that. If you hear somebody say that he's going to be a bust, question why they say that. Because neither one of them are telling you the truth. We don't know what he's going to be yet. He has the potential. He has the tools. He's going to write a story. And the next chapter is going to be on Sunday against Seattle. And it'll follow the week after on the road in Denver, and then back in Santa Clara when they face the Rams. Each week that story is going to be written. And eventually we're going to know where he is. But here's what we do know above all else when it comes to Trey Lance. He's a leader. We're going to see where he takes the 49ers, and we're going to see how this plays out. But that's who he is. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys had a great day. As my buddy over here in the comment section, Raphael5629ers, who's a member of the Toolbox, likes to say, "What's up, Jack? Members of the Toolbox and everyone." And Raphael always does a great job of reminding me to tell everybody to like and subscribe. So if you can please hit that like button, if you can hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. Also, get yourselves over to 49ers.pressdemocrat.com. That is the Inside the 49ers blog at the Press Democrat. Check it out. That's where you can see all my written work. Now that the season is in full swing, articles are up on a daily basis. So get yourself over there, check it out. But before you head out today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Raphael, thank you so much. Also want to shout out William Bennett, who says, "Hey, Jack, hey, good to have you on board, William. Thank you for joining." And also everybody else, like Bryant here, who's a member of the Toolbox, who says, "Thank you, Jack, as always." Thank you, Bryant. I just wanted to come in, make sure that I got that out. It was something that was on top of my mind. And you can also go over and check that out at 49ers.pressdemocrat.com. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I will be back tomorrow with a show to talk about the game that's going to be coming up on Sunday. Take care, everybody.